Good afternoon. We're here for our March 5th Tutoring and Writing Center with our presenter, Dr. Abby Bardi. She has taught in the English department at Prince George's Community College since 1993 and has been Writing Center coordinator for several decades. She is vice president of the Faculty Senate and the author of 3 wonderful novels. The novels are The Book of Fred, The Secret Letters, and Double Take. I give you the pleasure of Dr. Abigail Bardi. Thank you.
Thank you, Dawn. So first of all, don't ever call me Abigail. My mom called me that when I was in trouble. So I'm happy to meet you all, and I'm glad to see some of you I actually know from the Tutoring and Writing Centers who, you've been tutors there or about to be tutoring there, and I hope to see all of you in there at one time or another. Well, today, I've been asked to talk a little bit about the Tutoring and Writing Centers because this is such a wonderful resource that we have for our students, and a lot of people kind of know we're out there somewhere, but what I want to do is really give you some specifics today so that you know exactly what to tell your students, and you can get a little bit of a better idea of how we operate, what we do in there. So first of all, I want to go back to the beginning of the PowerPoint. First of all, I want to tell you where we are. And who we are, the Tutoring and Writing Centers are actually 2 separate centers, the Tutoring Center and the Writing Center. We occupy the same space. This is our scheduling window. We've been sharing a space for many years. We actually used to be on this floor a really long time ago. I think we moved into Bladen Hall in 2013, and then this last summer we moved into Lanham Hall. Lanham is the beautifully renovated building that you will see in the little quad that's adjacent to the Largo Student Center. We're on the ground floor, and if you kind of make your way around into the middle of the building, that's where we're located. We share the space. The Tutoring Center's on one side, the Writing Center's on the other side, and we share a phone number, we share scheduling facilities. Students can come to that window to make appointments, or they can call us. So one of the things that I want to emphasize is that I have noticed that a lot of people don't really know where we are anymore, because we used to be somewhere that was very heavily trafficked and people would see us. So come visit us, find out where we are, come into that building. And one of the great things about that building is that it's very pretty. Students like to sit in the hallways, and we have purified water so you can come fill up your thermos. So I don't know when they change the filters, but so far it's a new building. We're good. So what we do in there, we're basically there to help students in a variety of classes and subjects. So I'm going to break this down by first talking about the Writing Center. I'm going to talk more about the Writing Center because I run the Writing Center. I said several decades because I don't actually remember when I started running it. It was a really long time ago. That's all I can really tell you. It's been going on for a while. I actually started tutoring there, I think, my 2nd semester here, which is also a million years ago. Who can remember that far back? But the Writing Center is really my passion, and I think that I want everyone to make it their passion too, but I can also talk in much more detail about that than the Tutoring Center because I'm so familiar with it. So this is just a little, I took pictures of what goes on in there. It looks a little forbidding because I'm not a great photographer like George over there, but the new facility is really very pretty. It's very modern, it's clean, it's nice. We actually really liked it when it was up here and it was kind of funky and dirty, and nobody could sit on the couch because you didn't know when it was last cleaned. But it's a beautiful facility, and the students can come and wait and sort of look through the window and see if we're in there. But what we actually do there, probably many of you have come from other institutions that had writing centers. There's actually a big discussion in the writing center community now about terminology. Many places call their writing centers, but there are other names: writing labs, writing clinics, learning centers, and writing centers are configuring themselves in a number of different ways now. But that tells you one of the interesting things is that writing centers are not just national but international. There are writing centers at most colleges and universities in America and many other countries as well. There are also professional organizations that writing centers have that sort of set the standard for how we operate and what we do. So we tend to be in that intellectual community, while at the same time we're very focused on serving our own students in particular. So what does a writing center do? First of all, we are a little bit different from the tutoring center in that all of our tutors are faculty. Some of them do it as part of their teaching load, but most people do it as an overload. They do it just because they love working there and because they love working one-on-one with students. So what we do is we work one-on-one with students to help them with writing assignments. And we really let students set the agenda, and we try to meet whatever their needs are for their writing. So these are some of the things that we offer. What we've been trying to do is offer a variety of modalities because not everybody has the same needs. So over the years, we've gone from being just the writing center to having all these other things that we do. So first of all, really important point here, we offer tutoring in any writing assignment. Does not have to be English. It could be literally anything. We get people with doing something for biology or for art or any subject that if they are writing, and also we do non-credit. If people are taking a non-credit course that involves writing, we will work with that as well. So the real criterion is it writing? We don't work with, for example, homework exercises, but if a student's working on writing, we help them with whatever they're working on. We also offer tutoring in speech communications. We have someone from that department working in there. We offer tutoring in ESL, and that can be ESL classes or ESL grammar. It could be students who have ESL issues and want help with ESL issues in their writing. So it's pretty open-ended, but we have a lot of ESL students. In other words, students for whom English is not their first language. And so we try to give them special attention. We've got a couple of, and grammar. We offer tutoring in grammar. And I am going to get to the subject of what we actually do when we tutor. But one of the things we find is a lot of people think, oh, I know, my student has bad grammar. I'm going to send the student to the writing center to work on grammar. But that's really not what we do unless they actually request grammar tutoring. We work on the larger issues in the paper that, the writing issues that are more major, like thesis, paragraphing, support, research, things that are what we call higher order concerns. So we tend not to drill down to the sentence level, and that's why we offer tutoring in grammar specifically, because that's where they can really look at the sentence level. And we have people actually we have one person in particular who's a grammar fanatic. She just lives for grammar. She loves it. So, if the student sees Professor Sailors, they will just be, not only will they leave with the best grammar instruction they can get, but also probably a passion for grammar and possibly some chocolate. So also, we've got a new format we've been doing for the last couple of years. Sometimes people say to us, okay, I'm going to send my student and give the student extra credit. No, you can't do that because we only offer something like 135 appointments per week, and if you personally have 125 students, you can't have them all come in there for extra credit or we will be completely swamped. And this happens to us periodically where one person won't have gotten the memo and we'll be just like, oh no, Professor Smith has sent us 500 students. And so then I always contact Professor Smith and explain. But so what we started doing is offering writing clinic as an opportunity for people to send their students and give the student extra credit. What that is it's a drop-in hour. It runs for 2 hours on Wednesday, and the students can come in there and they can work in an informal way. They can bring something, sit there working, ask a question, and also sign up for a 10-minute slot of one-on-one with the person who's running the writing clinic. So we've just started doing that, and we haven't had a whole lot of people in there, but if you have the urge to give your students extra credit to come into the Writing Center, this would be the way to do it. Just say, go to Writing Clinic. I had a little stamp made that says Writing Clinic, so that's really cool. Also, Grammar Clinic, remember the person with the passion for grammar and the chocolate? She decided some years ago now that she would just do a writing class every week, every Wednesday from 4 to 5:30, called Writing Clinic, where she covers a different aspect of grammar, and students come in and she works with them and they play games. She's developed a lot of games. She goes to conferences and presents this a lot. And she's just got this incredible passion for grammar, so that if you have a student who really would need or would benefit from additional grammar instruction, you can send the student to Grammar Clinic. And also, we do give extra credit for that as well, because we can scale that up. We could have we could have 200 people in there if we wanted to. Not where we currently hold it, but theoretically we could. So Grammar Clinic is another thing that we offer. How we do our appointments, they have, students can make half-hour one-on-one appointments with the tutors, and they are allowed to make a maximum of 2 per week. So that's the normal type of appointment we offer for most of the week. But also on Wednesdays, we offer 15-minute pop-in appointments where students can come in and we just have a sign-up sheet. They don't need to sign up in advance. So if you have a student on Tuesday who really needs to get in there right away and just has a kind of a quick, manageable thing that they need to look at, you can say, why don't you go get a pop-in appointment on Wednesday. That's for most of the day, off and on, and that way they can come in and just get what we actually sort of like to think of as triage. You can see someone for 15 minutes and the tutor will help the student figure out, what do you need to do next? Do you need to come back? Should you make another appointment? Should you rewrite this? So that's another modality that we offer, and that's been very successful because it's so spur of the moment. So what we do, okay, this is the part where I explain kind of our pedagogy. So first of all, we help students with assignments, whether